Hello, gorgeous NFA, no fucking around money mamas. I'm psyched you're here for another episode of the Women Entrepreneur Podcast. I have a special announcement for you today. If you haven't yet checked out the NFA Money Mama Mastermind and you're really wanting to increase your income in 2023, you're gonna wanna check it out. Go to nfamoneymamas.com to check it out. There are so many bonuses in this mastermind. We meet every week, twice a week. On Mondays, we do mindset alignment and manifestation strategies. And on Wednesdays, we do business scaling breakdowns to help you figure out exactly how to build your unique business from your zone of manifestation. Plus, you get access to my 12-week Reprogram Your Money Mindset course and my How to Set Manifestation-Based Goals workshop. We connect all week long on a video app, and we are high vibe. This is the place you need to be if you're ready to accelerate your income and break through the six-figure mark in 2023. So go to nfamoneymamas.com. I can't wait to see you there. Let's get to today's episode. Hello, NFA family. I'm probably going to cry today during this episode because my NFA Money Mamas are on and they are rock stars. And I'm so excited to get you to hear from all of them. Woohoo! I see Denise over there doing a dance. Yep. Woo, woo, woo. NFA Money Mama dance, right? So this is really exciting. So many of you, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you hear me always come on and say, hey, NFA Money Mamas. And it's because this is actually really fun. My son one day, he used to call me NFA he used to call me NFA Muscle Mama because I do a whole bunch of sports and all kinds of stuff. And then, one day we were talking about money and he goes, you're an NFA Money Mama. And I was like, I love that. And it like planted this seed. And then I talked to my daughter, who is also an NFA Money Mama. And I said, I think I want to start a mastermind called NFA Money Mamas. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't sleep. And I know when I have an inspired next step to take, that's what happens to me. I can't sleep. I get excited and I'm like, okay, this is the universe bringing me something. And so I started playing with it and I've been attracting women this way. And now we're really, really ready to grow it. And today we're going to talk to you about the power of masterminds. So you know that often I bring biz breakdown sessions where we have business topics. And NFA Money Mamas is I'd say a family, and you're going to hear from everyone here what they're getting out of it. But really, it's a family, a community of badass women entrepreneurs who have various types of businesses, are at different levels of the business building game, and want to come together every week for mindset up-leveling and business scaling resources. So we meet live every single week. And we have a video app where we do a book club and we talk to each other. We share our money blocks. This is the group that you want to be in if you're like, I want a family of women entrepreneurs who are going to support and challenge me to be my most, I always use the word badass, inspired, empowered, confident, connected, zone of genius version of myself to build my business. So that's what we're all about. And I'm going to let everyone here share their take on it. And we're going to start with that first. And so just know that as you plug into today's episode and listen along the way, you're going to hear about the mastermind. You're also going to hear their tips about how they would change or the advice they'd give to their startup selves. So you're going to get some great tips there. And then you're also going to get to connect with them and hear about their businesses. And this will inspire you to see different ways of you building your business and how a collective of women can come together and really manifest awesomeness in the world through their businesses. All right, so let's start first. I want you all to share, what the NFA Money Mama Mastermind means to you, what you've gotten out of it, and just, for listeners, if they were thinking like, I would love a community like that, what do you think they need to hear? So let's start, and I'm going to go in the order of who's on my screen first. We're doing this on YouTube and on the podcast, so if you want to see our faces, go to YouTube for episode number 24. Okay, let's go with you first, Dr. Alex.
All right. Well, hello, all the listeners. I'm excited to be here. This actually isn't the first time I've been on the podcast, but
I know.
For me, what this mastermind really has been is about community and connection. I know for myself and for a lot of women who are, driven and in business or leadership roles, it can be really hard to have a community of other awesome people around you where you're physically located. So, I don't miss this thing for, I think the only time has been because I was on a plane like once. So, this is my family. It's about, just having relationship and having somewhere I can go where I feel understood and like I can show up and just truly be myself. So
I love that. One thing about Dr. Alex is that she shows up so powerfully reflecting on her own money blocks, which opens the conversation for all of us. And so, something that's beautiful about the synergy of a mastermind is that one person can say something that can have you then reflect on your own stuff in a completely different way that you can never do by yourself. And so I really, really appreciate what you bring to the table in that way, Dr. Alex, having been a 7-figure business owner, building another business, doing all kinds of awesome stuff in the world. And you really are constantly looking within to find what is unconsciously blocking you. And it's a huge contribution to the whole community. So I wanted to add that for Dr. Alex.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Awesome. So if you let's say you were talking to women who might want to come here, what's one thing you would say to them for them to be inspired to join us in the NFA Money Mama Mastermind?
That's a good one. I would say, I've been around so much business stuff, right? We've all probably invested in so much coaching and so many groups and so many things. And this is one of the few that has truly been unique, I think, because, we are a group of women specifically. I haven't come across too many containers that are specific to women. And so, I would just share encouragement. And if any part of that sounds amazing to you, doing business with other women and not, especially running my 7-figure business, it was a very male-dominated world, and men were who I was getting advice from, and it can look really different and feel really good. And that's what this group really brings. So if that sounds like what you need or looking for or missing, then come find us.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you. All right. Go for it, Alethea.
Will you give me the first question again?
Yes. Really, it's about what are you getting out of NFA Money Mamas? Why did you join? What are you getting out of it? And, what would you say to inspire other women who are hearing this and going, oh, that sounds good. I could want to be there.
Yeah. I think I would imagine all of us will have similar answers in terms of connection, but the connection piece is absolutely everything. And without it, it wouldn't be a mastermind. In my mind, that's the key ingredient. And I would say too, obviously as entrepreneurs who are doing online stuff, there's a lot of space to be doing things by yourself. And I can't speak for everyone else, but speaking for myself, I am with my thoughts all day, every day. And it's so nice to have a space where you get to come and share those thoughts and have other people not even give advice or critique, but just reflect back from multiple perspectives. I think that's my favorite part about this group is that it's not industry specific. And so I'm getting to hear so many experiences from so many different stages of business, from so many different industries, and getting to reflect on things that I would have never otherwise reflected on. I feel like being in this mastermind has helped me dig so deep within myself that there's no way I could have thought myself there all alone. And just the people that I've met, of knowing that I have a group of people that I can ask for help or ask for really encouragement, I would say, is the thing that is the lifeblood of this group to me, and the thing that I really, really feel eternally grateful for.
I love to hear that so much. It makes me think of a couple things that both of you have said already, is that every week when we get on our masterminds, I always have everyone plug in their rating of what they're experiencing and feeling. And of course, for me, the goal is to always get us inspired at a new level so that we're vibing higher and feeling really good. And I can only think of a couple times that the level stayed the same. It's almost always that people are up leveling by several numbers, unless they're screwing with me. And sometimes they'll put a lower number, Alethea. But usually it's a couple numbers higher, right? It's we'll go from a 4 to a 6 or a 4 to an 8. Sometimes we'll go from a 5 to a 10. And that is the goal, right? It's check-ins. We can't do this on our own. It is lonely to build your business by yourself in your office, I think. And I think that you'll hear this from all of the NFA Money Mamas. It's not just about business strategy or even mindset strategy. It's about connection. I can't wait to hear from Denise. Denise, I'm just going to share because I don't know if she's planning on saying this, but one day she said, "This is my Jetpack NFA Money Mama group." It's like Jetpack team coming to support her in a time of need, and we're there for each other. This is my family. Every week I'm thinking about all of you in my group, and I'm thinking about how you're doing in your business and how you're feeling. And when big family stuff comes up, we share it there. It's amazing. So thank you, Alethea. And everyone here is going to talk about their businesses, so I won't go in depth. But Alethea is our youngest member, and she is such an incredible human. And it's so fun to watch her business grow. So she really started in the mastermind right when she started her business. And it's been amazing to watch her blossom into a powerhouse over the last year. So can't wait to see where you go, Alethea. Okay, go for it, Denise.
Well, you stole my thunder with the Jetpack Money Mamas. And I will say this, that decades ago, I am the senior in the group. So, okay. Alethea is the young child that could be my granddaughter. But decades ago, I read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And I just thought that the concept of a mastermind would be the perfect thing. And when I owned my first business, which was a brick and mortar business, I belonged to some groups that were business specific, but I didn't really find the camaraderie. People were kind of one-upping each other and showing off instead of really feeling supported. So this group has been wonderful because there's a true sense of caring. And I know Dr. Amanda mentioned that we use Volley. So the Jetpack Money Mama incident was one day I was stuck on something, and I don't remember what it was, but I just went on the Volley app and asked a question, and I was kind of stuck. Whatever it was, I don't know if it had to do with an offer on a landing page, but I really was toying with this decision and couldn't go any further. And so I just left a message, and in no time, just with their suggestions and insight, I came to my decision. Now, as Alethea said, as an entrepreneur, you're alone so much, alone with your thoughts, and just hearing another perspective that is so critical. It was tremendous help. And so I made that like, oh, my Jetpack Money Mamas came to my rescue and just helped me figure it all out. So for that, I'm very, very grateful. And there's also the accountability part. You're going to show up. I don't miss any. I think I missed a couple in a year. And, but there's that level of accountability that is very gentle and supportive. And yet I think we're just so committed to each other that we just show up. We just show up. So.
I love this. Yes. First, that visualization, every time we're together, I think of that Jetpack Money Mamas, and it's just like, it's the support system. It's the powerhouse team. It's we're superheroes. And when one person is down, we're going to lift you up, right? Like no one gets to stay behind. Everyone matters. And I love that we're all on the same quest together, building businesses we love that help people in the world, playing with being in our zones of genius. And I think probably people wouldn't be attracted to this community if part of their zone of genius wasn't like human connection. So for all of us, we're very into connecting with each other, and it's so powerful. And Denise, you really reminded me of that piece of, oh, I just totally lost it. Darn it. It'll come back. I lost it. Oh, I'm thinking about the accountability piece. It's the inspirational based accountability, right? Like every week on the channel, we do Monday momentum, and on Friday we share our wins. And so we're challenging and supporting each other. So on Mondays, we're going like, hey, what's your plan of action for the week? And then on Fridays, we're going, how did you win? And we're holding each other accountable through love, support, challenge, sharing our wins, which goes, oh, she did it, I want to do it. And there's no competition. It's support. Many of the women here have done projects together, right? We're on each other's podcasts or we've worked together. And as we grow as a community, so all of you listening, as we grow, my big vision of it is to have 50 NFA Money Mamas who are like support team powerhouse. We come together every week to up-level our vibe, learn very specific business scaling strategies. When I say specific, meaning strategies that work that then you get to pick and pull that are unique to you and your business, because I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all solution for building a business. I like to give you a lot of options and help you frame your mindset in the right way to build a business in your zone of manifestation, which is cool in a mastermind because we all come together and bring different things to each other and different strategies and tools. Okay, go for it, Stacey. Oh, let's see. Wait, hold on. You're on mute. There we go. Go for it.
It's kind of hard going last. But for me, the reason I wanted to join, and the reason I love it is that, it's a group of all female entrepreneurs who are like-minded. And that's a really unique situation for me because I've always been in male-dominated industries. So it brings a whole different perspective for me. And while I love that, it's an all-female group, I think it's the diversity of the group as well. We're in different industries. We live in different parts of the country, different ages, life experiences. And that brings a lot of richness and cross-pollination for me. I've been involved in other masterminds that are, just in my, people in my industry. And you get very, you have kind of blinders on, and, it lacks, creativity that I think, having people in different industries and different ages and everything, it really helps a lot. Some of the best ideas, for businesses come from outside your industry. And so that really gives, me and hopefully everybody else, that opportunity. And of course, it's about, community and connection and, not feeling like you're all alone out there. Because being an entrepreneur or solopreneur it's a lonely business. So, yeah, it's just great.
Love this. Thank you for sharing, Stacey. I realized I said something about Dr. Alex and Alethea. Denise, when I think of Denise, like it's just like shining heart energy, like such a beautiful soul. Oh, I want everyone to meet Denise and Dr. Alex and Alethea and Stacey. And Stacey, when I think of Stacey, it's just like fiery feistiness. Stacey shakes us up. I love it. So everyone here, this is where, it's that family vibe. For those of you listening, let's say you have kids and you have more than one kid, you fall in love with each kid differently because they all have their unique individual personalities. And I would say that's how it feels in the NFA Money Mama community. It's like we all bring different things, just like Stacey was saying. It's different energies, different businesses, different backgrounds. And yet I would say the common thread by far is community. Of course, the goal is to build businesses we love that make us a ton of money, which is what we're all doing as well. And so it's interesting when you're marketing, to go to like, even the name NFA, no fucking around money. It's like, yeah, we're striving for money, but the reason is because we want freedom, doing what we love, building businesses we love that are like a spiritual journey of us evolving in ourselves and helping other people evolve. And so I'd say we have really common interests in those ways. So let's go to our panel question. This is a really fun one. And I wanted the NFA Money Mamas to bring their insight here because we're all at different stages of our current business. And everyone here has built, let's see, I think Alethea is on her first business. And I could see, we could say many things about Alethea in terms of like being so young and being so clear about a direction. A lot of us here have built several businesses and have revamped. So this is a question that applies to everybody here. And I want you to hear their wisdom on this question. So the question is, if you could go back and tell your startup self helpful advice, what would it be? If you could go back and tell your startup self helpful advice, what would it be? And we're going to go with Stacey first, since she went last time. So go for it, Stacey.
Oh, awesome. I love it. Well, I've got a lot of experience to pull from just based on my age. So I just made a list because I didn't want to go on forever. Number one was trust my intuition or instincts. You know, if you see red flags, you know, pay attention to it. Two, be prepared to make the hard, uncomfortable, unpopular decisions. Three, set your boundaries and honor them. And four, it would be to say no almost all of the time. If it's not a hell yes, it's a fuck no. The end.
Oh yeah, NFA Money Mama style. I love that, because I always tell people, if it's not a heaven yes, it's a hell no, right? Because I think it's funny how we always say hell no or hell yeah. You know, it's like words matter. I love it, and your feisty energy. It's so true. Okay, so that was awesome. So recap the four just in one statement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go again, because I like those, and I want listeners to be able to integrate.
Oh, you want me to go down the list?
Yeah, just say the list straight down.
Trust your intuition and instincts. Be prepared to make the hard, uncomfortable, unpopular decisions. Set your boundaries and stick to them. And say no most of the time. If it's not a hell yes, it's a fuck no.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, those are powerful. Okay, so again, we're talking about what would you go back and tell your startup self in terms of helpful advice? And a lot of what you're saying is boundaries and valuing yourself. Boundaries and valuing yourself. Awesome. Okay, Denise, go for it.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I find myself wondering if I go back to my first business, what I would tell that self then, or telling myself now. So I'm going to give a blended answer because I can compare the difference in a lot of ways. Don't think you can do this all by yourself, or yes, you can, but don't choose to do it by yourself. Never choose that again. I mean, it's just incredible how getting the right people can help you with so many things, like marketing. Are you a marketing expert? I'm not, and I wasn't, and yet here I was thrust into now. I shouldn't say thrust. I chose to walk the path of having an online business when I was over 65 years old. And so here I am online mastering these things. So getting the right help and the right encouragement is so important. My second thing, because I think back to my first business, I remember saying to who's now my ex-husband, like, oh my God, what if we lose everything because of my business? I mean, I had built it up in my head to be this, like, you know, you're either going to be successful or you're going to be homeless type thing. And that's how my emotional mindset was at the time. And of course, I sailed through that and everything's fine. I never became homeless. However, I find that no matter who you are, I don't care how experienced you are and how knowledgeable, there are always going to be challenges. And I really think that the mindset work is key. I wish I did more of that in my first business. And that's what I've been doing in this business. So we're talking about mindset. Don't go it alone. And the third thing is, do not be surprised if you need multiple consultants, because you could find yourself signing up with someone who is great at marketing, but that they're not going to be the hand to hold you, and they're not going to be there to help you with the mindset issues. So make sure you've got that balance. And that's why we love Dr. Amanda so much.
Oh, this is so fun to listen to. Thank you. And such great advice. I mean, I think that piece, don't do it alone. Like, I've been such a lone wolf in my life. And it's been so amazing to connect with women through, making that decision. In some ways, it was copywriting with Alethea, like working on copy. It was her really helping me distill down, like focus on women, because my heart and soul were there, and niching down and all these different things. And then as I started to build a community of women, I was like, oh my God, my heart has been missing this. Like, I miss this and I need it. I don't even know if I've ever had it in my life before this, really, and so like this community of working not solo. And then I think your advice is very powerful in terms of knowing who to add to your team. Some people are really good at sales and they'll tell you they can do all of the things. And I think part of the gift of a mastermind is that you probably could find all of the things in one mastermind through the collective knowledge and wisdom of the people in the mastermind, which is really cool. That's really my vision of creating this, where it's like, hey, I bring to the table money mindset, manifestation, and the way that I've scaled my business, which will work for some and won't work for some. On top of that, you need copywriting, website, you need health, wellness, you need, Stacey works with overcoming debt. Denise does deep transformational work for real estate agents. Like, we've got a wide collective community. And, I always think about how but through one person, what is it? Through 7 people, everybody in the world. Is that how it goes? So it's like, holy moly, just right here in this group, we're connected to the whole world. And that is awesome, right? And so that's just going to keep growing as we grow together. Thank you, Denise. Okay, Alethea, go for it.
Okay, I have a million ideas, so I'm going to boil them down to the few. But I would say the first biggest piece of advice, and it's funny because all of this advice I think applies across everything in life, not only to business, but I would say being patient. Like, I'm a wildly impatient person, and when I want something, I am willing to do whatever it takes to get there. And that's just not how business quite goes. Like, there's long-term connection building, and there's getting really clear on the direction that you want to go, and building a community and consistency and all of that. And I would go back and tell myself, like, you're going to get where you want to go, then be thankful, then be grateful, take the time to pause and be like, okay, I've come a lot of distance, because I think it's easy as entrepreneurs to always be focused on what's next. And then kind of to like almost contrast that bit of advice, I would also say to keep an eye on the long-term vision and always keep in mind what you're building toward, and not let the day-to-day frustrations discourage you, because they're going to happen. You're not going to get where you want to go as fast as you want. You might have a whole change in what you want to do. So keeping an eye on like, okay, long-term, this is what I'm working toward. It's okay that X launch didn't happen, or whatever. So those are like 2 kind of intermingled pieces of advice. And the third thing I would say is to be mindful of where you're seeking validation, because that was probably the biggest revelation I had in my first year of business, was because I didn't feel like an expert, because I wanted other people to validate my identity as an expert, I was putting the pressure on other people to prove my worth to me. And knowing like within yourself and getting secure in yourself that you are an expert, whether or not the clients are there, whether or not things are going as you want them to, like, you have to be solid in yourself. And when you come from that place, your magnetism drastically shifts. So those would be my pieces of advice.
Those are amazing. I see, for those of you who are listening on the podcast instead of watching on YouTube, it's like when everyone's talking, everyone else is shaking their head and just like, yes, yes, yes. I mean, we can resonate with all of these. I think as you're listening to this today, you could find a piece of this in everything that you're doing and go, oh, I needed to hear that. Because we all need reminders about our startup self. This could even be you going like, hey, if I could go back to my 20-year-old self or my childhood self and tell myself what I need to know today to just be strong and powerful. And what could I tell that person at 20 to get to where I am in this poised and confident way? What are those pieces of advice? And, Alethea, I love that, that validation piece. I've watched that for you a lot this year, where you really it's fun to watch you grapple with that and then overcome and be like, I know I'm a badass. I can own it, And then we vacillate, right? We go through the spiral curve where some days we're on top and we're like, I'm awesome. Everything's great. And then the next day we're like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm terrified. And we all get to share that experience together. And I think that's really good advice. Thank you. Okay, go for it, Dr. Alex.
Man, these have all been so good. I've been sitting here like, what new things can I share? But I feel like the biggest thing for me, and it bears worth repeating because everyone has already said it, is listening to your gut and trusting your intuition. Like, that is something that I don't think is discussed enough in the business world, and that is so important. We get attached to the shoulds or what it's supposed to be, or how it's supposed to look, and really just allowing yourself to be creative and be who you are and allow that to show up in business. And along with that, I would say the two things that I was thinking about while everyone else was sharing is, the one is keep sticking with the facts, making sure you can, do the work you need to do to be objective in any kind of situation or decision that you're making. And not coming at it from story. This has been a big one for me in transitioning from my first business to the new business that I'm creating. And similar to that, but slightly different, is not identifying, like, the business is not you, right? Identify the business as its own living, breathing entity and thing, and what is that serving in the world, and detach it from being all about you, if that makes sense. This is easier said than done because a lot of us are, we are our brand, right? And there's this, like, when you're able to see the business as its own living, breathing thing, you can bring some of that objectivity. You can bring, this sense of creativity that is that thing and less attached to you and your identity. So for those listening, like everyone here, I've been on like one hell of an identity shift this year that's spilled over into business. Thankfully it hasn't spilled over into my marriage at this point. No, that kind of started on one of our calls too, but there was a conversation about trophy wives anyways. But being able to like be fully grounded in who you are and follow your gut intuition for the entity of the business itself. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if I need to clarify that one.
It does. Well, and as all of you are talking, I'm thinking, every single thing that each one of you said could be a full hour episode. Like, so much gold in all of that. I think that challenge of separating yourself from your business when you're building a brand is interesting because, I always think about your business as a reflection of you, and it is a spiritual growth journey. And there is a time and space to like go, in order to be objective about it, you've got to separate it sometimes. And what I hear you saying there, Dr. Alex, is the objective piece is asking yourself, is this true? Or am I running a story? Right. Which is really running your business from your limiting beliefs. So you're detaching from that so you can see objectively.
Yeah. And that becomes really important when you have staff and other people in your world. So it's kind of how I was thinking about it, but
totally
in all aspects well,
and it ties to Stacey talking about boundaries and saying no and all of the things, and then I want to point out one thing Dr. Alex said, because we have had the juiciest conversations in our masterminds. And I wish all of you could see the women, their faces, because we're all laughing and we're all like, oh my God, yes. Like, we have talked about patriarchy, trophy wives, letting go of your shitty beliefs about self-doubt. Sometimes they're very gendered conversations, and sometimes they're just conversations about being human. We have the fall down, the identity shifts, all the things that come up when you build a business. I really think of business as a spiritual growth journey of unfolding everything about yourself that is your shadow side that you don't want to see. It comes up as you're building a business, and together we get to go through that. Okay. We're going to go to the last round. And what we're going to do here is we're going to have all of the women in the mastermind share their business. And then they're going to give you something free for them to connect with them, and then an ask of the community, like if they're looking for podcast guests or clients or anything along those lines. And we're going to have Stacey go first because I know she has a hard stop on time and I want to make sure we don't miss you. So let's go Stacey first. Oh, wait, you're on mute again. Okay.
Oh,
there you go.
am I off mute?
Now you're not muted.
Okay, beautiful. As you know, my name's Stacey Arbetter. I'm a serial entrepreneur and rebel. I started my first business in college and never looked back. Right now, I handle the sales and marketing for the Shred Method. The Shred Method is an education and SaaS model in the fintech space. And essentially, I work with people who are tired of getting screwed over by the financial system. And I show them how to use the bank's money and business model against the bank to be debt-free in generally 3 to 5 years without changing their lifestyle. So looking for people that are open to that and seek freedom. And of course, we're also looking for affiliates. So if you'd like to see how this could work for you, I invite you to send me an email at Stacey@the-Shred-Method, and we can get on a call, and I can actually walk you through the system with your numbers so you can see how it would work specifically for you and to see if it's something that would be a fit.
Awesome. Connect with Stacey. So for those of you on the podcast, again, that's Stacey@theshredmethod.com. So she helps you shred your debt and create financial freedom using a very specific system. So awesome connection for that if that is interesting to you. Thank you, Stacey. Okay, go for it, Denise.
Hi, I'm Denise Richards. My company is IndiGo Creative Coaching, and I support women realtors to help them save time and make more money. I do that with them by implementing processes and having a secure strategy. It helps them to streamline because they're always on a roller coaster. And however, as I was previously talking about mindset, we go deeply into mindset because you need to have that to have a successful sales history, and they can get really beat up. So I can be reached at IndiGoCreativeCoaching.com. I welcome anybody to have a free complimentary call. There's a form on the website that you can just complete, and I'll be happy to chat with you.
Awesome. Okay, first, before we move to the next, I'm going to say, Stacey, if you want to work with someone who is like just straightforward and not going to mess around at all, work with Stacey. And Denise, if you want to connect with a wise, the word keeps coming to me, poised, like a poised, wise woman who has your heart, connect with Denise, and in these different niches, right? So I'm going to keep plugging my ladies because they are all rock stars. My eyes are filling up with tears. I can't wait because in NFA Money Mamas in 2023, we're having a live retreat. So whoever joins us, you're going to get hugged by me 85 times. So I can't wait for everyone to meet them. And I'm just going to keep promoting my NFA Money Mamas because, I attract women who are big-hearted, go-getters, love what they're doing in the world, are in it for the long haul. This is the community that we've created. So connect. Okay, let's go to Alethea next.
My name is Alethea. I am the founder of Copy with Spice, and I help creative entrepreneurs with their copy, whether that's website copy, sales page copy, email marketing. I think those are the main things. Blog writing sometimes, but on the down low. And say the big heart of what I do is helping people get their personalities across in writing, because A, writing about yourself is hard as fuck, and B, it's really challenging to get all those spicy personality elements within your writing, especially when you're writing about yourself. So I help people do that, and my ask, well, my call to action is actually to sign up for my newsletter, which is right now called 3 Ways on Tuesdays, but will be renamed in the future.
Are you renaming it? Really?
I am, yes. I haven't publicly announced that, but I guess you guys are getting the inside scoop, which is what it's going to be called, the inside scoop. So if you want any spicy copywriting tips or funny stories or practical business advice, my newsletter is where it's at, and you can sign up for that through my website.
Okay, so copywithspice.com.
Yeah.
Okay, and just for everyone listening, at the time of this recording, a few people's websites are in revamp mode, and so what you go see today might not look the same if you're listening to this 6 months down the road. Yet, go to these, either Stacey's email, Denise's website, Alethea's website, and I get Alethea's newsletter, and I get a lot of newsletters, a lot of newsletters, and I don't read all of them. Often, some of them are just like, hey, I need to learn ideas for myself, and so I'll just delete them, and then every once in a while a hook will come in and I'll like it. Alethea's I read every single week, and I literally laugh out loud, and she is a brilliant writer. So get her newsletter, you will laugh, and it's not even just laugh, like, she makes you laugh through teaching you good tips on copywriting. So really, really valuable. Of course, if you're looking for a good copywriter, she is kick-ass, usually booked out months in advance. So check her out so that you don't miss out. Copywithspice.com. All right. And Stacey, I know if you need to go, we will miss you. And thank you for being here. For those of you watching on YouTube, if Stacey drops off, we all knew she had to leave earlier. Thank you, Stacey. Okay, go for it, Dr. Alex.
All right. I am Dr. Alex. I'm gradually losing my voice more and more as we're recording. So
I know. Thank you for coming on. Okay, I want to say to everyone, this is like the power of NFA Money Mamas. Every week, everyone shows up. Like Denise said, she's had to miss a few people here and there have had to miss a few, but like, I'm always in awe of how every week everyone's there twice a week because we love each other so much. And this morning, Dr. Alex came on. She's recovering from a cold, and we could all tell that her voice was a little raspy. And here she is, still dedicated to us and to all of you. So thanks, Dr. Alex.
Oh, you're welcome. It's always fun to be here. So my business is Emergent Women Coaching. And what I do is I help high achieving driven women like all of us, and so many who are probably listening to this, transform from that place of exhaustion, anxiety, and hormonal chaos into, really finding balance, creativity, passion, purpose, and getting fully aligned in themselves so that they can live the life they really want to live and have the career they really want to have and have the body to support it all. So that's me in a nutshell. I am currently in the process of writing the Selfless Syndrome book, which is detailing all that, and will be out in January of 2023. And I'm really excited about it. But
they can pre-order right now, right?
Yeah. And so I'm actually, someone, they saw that I commented doing this. They were like, how Emily Dickinson of you. But I'm doing, if you pre-order, you're actually getting the book starting this week that we're recording this in parts. So the preface and the first chapter are coming out like tomorrow.
So exciting.
Very exciting. So you'll get it in chunks and then get the whole thing. But
that concept is so powerful, the selfless syndrome. And say that's really what you're coaching women through is the symptoms of that and overcoming it.
Yeah. And so the book, really gets into, essentially selfless syndrome is something that we have evolved into as high achieving women in a modern world that are kind of stuck between patriarchal society and really making our path for ourselves, and the impact that it has on our health, because my background is in obscene amount of health stuff. I'm originally a chiropractor and now a health coach and a bunch of other things. Yeah. Imposter syndrome, degree syndrome. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have a specific ask? Would it be to the book, or do you have anything?
Yeah. In general, just learning more, like go to emergentwomencoaching.com. I have a lot of resources. Some are free, some are paid. And the book you can find on there as well.
Thank you. Wonderful. Okay. So I want to remind everyone here that, everyone listening, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I put my heart, my soul, my money, my time, my energy into bringing you value. And the NFA Money Mamas, I would say they would all agree that it's like that's poured into our mastermind every single week. We love it. We get on, we meditate, and we have deep conversations, and we ask business questions, and we support each other as we've all shared here today. So if you're interested in joining NFA Money Mamas, go to nfamoneymamas.com. Generally, right now, I have it so that you would do a conversation with me because I'm really careful about who comes into the community. For the coming up, we have a workshop called How to Set Manifestation-Based Goals. If you're an NFA Money Mama, that workshop is included for you. We have our weekly meetings. I have this upcoming year in 2023, I'm going to be adding a course. So there's going to be a weekly course with action step takeaways to scale your business. We're going to do a retreat in 2023, live time. So all kinds of cool stuff coming in. This, we're going to be running a special for the end of 2022 that's way less expensive than what it will be after 2022. So if you're interested, get in now before 2023. Not that it won't be affordable in 2023 as well. Yet, if you're one of those people that's like, I like the deal, get in before 2023. So go to nfamoneymamas.com and you can schedule a consult with me, and we'll have a conversation about your business and make sure it's a good fit for you, that I can actually help you through the mastermind and that it's a good community for you. And then I'll give you all the info, and you'll be able to see a lot of the info on that page as well. I want to go with one closing thought. We're going to wrap up here in a few more minutes. So let's say, I'm going to open the floor to everybody. What's one lasting thought you would just love to leave everybody with? Could be a quote, could be a book, could be something in your world that really stands out. Let's just go with one lasting thought for everybody. Go ahead. Let's go with Alethea first. You're on my bottom right. Oh, I put you on the spot. Would you rather someone else go first? That was a cute face she made. Okay, Denise, would you like to go?
I'm staring at Alethea putting her eyes back in her head. But I would say, I think back to what I said originally. You don't have to do this alone. And that to me says it all. It's just the connection. I don't feel alone anymore, and it's just wonderful. I have my Jetpack Money Mamas team. That wasn't one word, sorry.
That was amazing. It could be a sentence. That's totally great, or several sentences. Thank you, Denise. Okay, Dr. Alex. We'll let Alethea go last. Go for it, Dr. Alex.
Well, I was just thinking about, as you were talking, for a lot of us, it can be hard to invest in ourselves. And it's an investment of time and an investment of knowing what I know of how you have this structured. It's a steal to get in here before the end of 2022. But, just standing and recognizing you're worth it. And we're all here to come alongside the women who are ready to join this kind of awesomeness. We need like a Jetpack Money Mamas t-shirt or something. I don't know.
I know. I was thinking I need to have my middle daughter draw something up for us, except for she hates it when someone comes to her and tells her what to draw. But she's a really good artist. But I'm like, I have like a visual of it in my mind too. That is what we're going to do at the retreat. We're going to have like some Jetpack NFA Money Mama shirt of some sort. It's going to be amazing. I love it. Okay. Thank you, Dr. X. Go for it, Alethea.
I would say know how to honor your intuition, tap into your intuition, and also know that your ego is going to trick you into thinking you need to wait until you're ready. And there's no such thing. And I think that there's a really challenging balance of you're going to feel like, I'm not ready to do this. Is that a gut feeling, or is that you being scared to take action anyway? So that would be my food for thought.
Yeah. And I love that you said that, Alethea, because let's say we're on a mastermind and you said that's what we would dig into. And so we would go how do you listen to your intuition and know that it's your intuitive voice and you're not taking action yet because you're afraid, or is it misalignment? Right. And so you want to learn how to strengthen your intuition. So topics like these come up all the time in our mastermind. So it's really, really awesome. And, then just, I think about the business scaling aspects of how we think about aligned ways to build our businesses. So many gems of wisdom. I know it's been a longer episode, so we're going to wrap up. Thank you for being here, NFA Money Mamas. I love you so much. Like, you're in my heart all the time. Thank you. And for all of you listening, if this is calling to you, check it out. So go to the NFAMoneyMamas.com, NFAMoneyMamas.com, and let's have a conversation. It's as simple as that. Don't overthink it. Listen to your intuition, like Alethea said. Invest in yourself. Know that you need community, and be like Denise said, you don't want to do it alone. And if you're called to it, I always think about that philosophy of when you're ready, the teacher will appear. And all of the women in the mastermind are your teacher. It's not me. I facilitate, but like all the women there, you will learn from every single week. And it's an amazing community of women. So we look forward to seeing you there. And until next time, I'm sending you big hugs, NFA money making high fives. I'll see you on the next episode. Hey friends, just a quick reminder that I'm looking for women entrepreneurs who want to do a biz breakdown session with me on this show, just like the one that you heard on today's episode. Think of this as a zone of manifestation audit to help you scale your business and make money more easily. During our recorded session, you'll get free money coaching from me with clear action steps that will help you scale your business more easily. And of course, as a guest on the show, you'll be able to promote your business and get some extra exposure. I'm doing this on a first come, first served basis. So head on over to www.thewomanentrepreneurpodcast.com and sign up for your biz breakdown session today.